Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Former WWE head writer Vince Russo recently spoke about possible opponents for Roman Reigns. The former world champion returned to Raw this week. The Usos faced Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed of the Vision this week in a Tornado Tag Team match. The encounter quickly spiraled into an all-out brawl as all four men bashed each other at ringside. Reed and Breaker looked poised to take the win, but just then Roman appeared. Amidst a thunderous ovation, the OTC showed up with a steel chair to exact revenge on the Vision. This week on Legion of Raw, Russo noted that WWE has no opponents lined up for the OTC. He pointed out that even if Roman was on the show full-time, the creative team didn't have any credible opponents for him. The veteran writer felt Brock Lesnar was the only person on the roster who could match Roman's star power. Roman's return helped the Usos pick up a much-needed win over Reed and Breaker. It will be interesting to see how WWE books the OTC in the weeks leading up to Crown Jewel in Perth, Australia. Roman Reigns has long stood as one of the most dominant forces in professional wrestling, a performer whose presence transcends the squared circle and bleeds into mainstream conversation. His run as the Tribal Chief has cemented his legacy as one of the most successful stars WWE has ever produced. Yet, for all his dominance, a heated debate has emerged regarding whether WWE has failed to build truly credible rivals to stand toe-to-toe with him. In an exclusive conversation, a veteran wrestling writer has made the bold claim that Reigns, despite carrying WWE for years, has been left without any believable threats to his reign at the top. The writer, who has observed WWE's storytelling for decades, explained that Roman Reigns is in a unique yet precarious position. On one hand, he is arguably the biggest draw in the industry, selling out arenas and moving merchandise at a record pace. On the other, the WWE has been so focused on protecting his aura of dominance that they may have inadvertently weakened the roster around him. The Bloodline saga, which captivated audiences for nearly 4 years, is both praised for its depth and criticized for overshadowing other talents. According to the writer, this has created a scenario where Roman Reigns feels larger than life, but the rest of the roster struggles to feel like legitimate equals. The claim that Reigns has no credible rivals in WWE is not just an attack on his opponents, but also a critique of creative decisions made in recent years. Stars like Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and LA Knight have all been positioned against him, yet each feud ended with Roman emerging stronger while the challengers lost steam. Even when challengers like Sami Zayn or Jey Uso captured fan support, their momentum ultimately fizzled out once Reigns retained his position as the Tribal Chief. The veteran writer argued that while WWE has tried to manufacture threats, none have been able to consistently carry the weight of being Roman's equal. Cody Rhodes was perhaps the closest WWE came to building a true rival for Roman Reigns. His journey to finish the story resonated with fans worldwide, and his popularity soared heading into WrestleMania. However, when WWE decided not to pull the trigger on Cody dethroning Reigns, it left a lingering sense of dissatisfaction on fans. The writer stated that Rhodes could have been the man to step up as the new face of WWE, but by delaying his crowning moment, WWE damaged his credibility as a long-term rival to Roman. Seth Rollins, another potential candidate, carries history with Reigns from their time in the Shield, yet WWE has kept them apart for much of Roman's Tribal Chief era. That decision has deprived fans of a natural rivalry that could have served as one of the most compelling stories in modern wrestling. The veteran further noted that WWE has leaned heavily on part-time legends or surprise comebacks to mask the lack of full-time credible rivals. Brock Lesnar returned multiple times to challenge Reigns, yet fans grew tired of the repeated matchups. John Cena was brought back on occasion to test Roman, but even Cena openly admitted that he was not the man to stop him. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has long been speculated as the dream rival for Roman, especially with their family connection. But until that happens, fans are left watching Reigns dominate opponents who never quite feel like they are on his level. In discussing WWE's creative direction, the writer pointed out a worrying trend. By focusing so intensely on making Roman Reigns unbeatable, WWE has unintentionally booked themselves into a corner. The audience thrives on unpredictability, but when every major match involving Roman ends with interference from the bloodline or a predictable retention, fans become conditioned to believe that no one can realistically beat him. This perception erodes the excitement surrounding potential challengers. Even when new stars are pushed, such as Solo Sikoa or Gunther, the shadow of Roman's dominance looms so large that it feels nearly impossible for them to ascend to his level. This leads to the bigger question: has Roman Reigns outgrown WWE itself? The veteran writer believes that WWE has crafted Roman into such a mythical figure that the only rivals who could credibly stand against him are either international megastars outside of wrestling or returning icons with decades of legacy behind them. While this positioning makes Roman appear godlike, it also means that WWE's day-to-day roster struggles to hold the spotlight. The company risks alienating fans if they cannot produce believable threats who can captivate audiences in long-term rivalries with Roman. The Bloodline story itself, while hailed as one of the greatest sagas in WWE history, has played a major role in creating this imbalance. The feud with Jey Uso in 2020 was deeply emotional and well-received, but it ultimately established Roman as an unstoppable manipulator rather than elevating Jey as a true equal. Later, the inclusion of Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, and eventually outside names teased endless possibilities, but the end result was always the same: Roman winning and standing tall. The writer claimed that by never allowing the Bloodline members to decisively defeat Roman, WWE lost out on organically creating credible rivals from within his own storyline. Another aspect that cannot be ignored is WWE's booking of younger talent. Superstars like Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, and Ilja Dragunov are brimming with potential, but none have been groomed in a way that makes them believable candidates to dethrone Roman anytime soon. The writer argued that if WWE is serious about securing its future, they must begin preparing the next generation to eventually step into that role, rather than recycling the same challengers who have already failed to topple the tribal chief. From a fan's perspective, the frustration is palpable. Social media is often filled with debates about who, if anyone, can finally defeat Roman Reigns. Each pay-per-view builds excitement for a possible upset, only for the cycle to repeat with Roman's dominance maintained. While this strategy has cemented Reigns' legacy, it has also drained the sense of suspense from his matches. The veteran writer suggested that WWE must take bold creative risks soon. Otherwise, Roman's reign will lose its emotional impact, no matter how historically long it lasts. Looking toward the future, several names still hover as potential credible rivals. Cody Rhodes remains the most obvious choice, especially given his connection to Dusty Rhodes' legacy and the unfinished story that WWE itself built up. Seth Rollins, with his history and current popularity, could reignite the fire of their rivalry if given the chance. Gunther, the dominant Intercontinental Champion, has shown he can be a believable powerhouse, though WWE must carefully build him if he is to step into Roman's orbit. Even Solo Sikoa has been teased as a possible betrayer of the tribal chief, though WWE must tread carefully to ensure that storyline feels organic rather than forced. Ultimately, the veteran writers claim that Roman Reigns has no credible rivals in WWE is less a criticism of Reigns himself and more an indictment of WWE's inability to balance his dominance with the growth of others. Roman has played his role flawlessly, evolving into a performer who commands the spotlight and captivates audiences with every promo and match. However, without strong rivals, even the greatest champions risk stagnation. If WWE cannot elevate new stars to stand as believable threats, Roman's reign may go down in history as iconic yet predictable. A tale of greatness that lacked the equally great rivals it deserved. For now, Roman Reigns remains the undisputed tribal chief, the face of WWE, and a living legend in the making. But the question lingers louder than ever: who, if anyone, can truly challenge him in a way that feels credible, shocking and worthy of the immense legacy he has built. Until WWE finds that answer, the criticism that Roman Reigns has no credible rivals will continue to echo throughout the wrestling world. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.